So good morning one and all. We'll see the commands to configure PAP and CHAP. So first we'll see PPP-PAP configuration. So if the two routers are connected like this, already I told you. So PPP protocol is actually used for point-to-point authentication on the serial links over a longer distance. See, these two routers are connected through the serial link. So in this serial link, by default HDLC will be there. To configure PPP, we have to use one of the authentication, either PAP authentication or CHAP authentication. So we'll see now we are going to configure PAP on R1 as well as R2. So we'll see how we are going to do this. So first I'm going to configure PAP on R1. So before going to start this, you have to change the host name of a router to R1. Either you can give R1 or any name as you like. Okay, we'll see the command. So you have to be in global configuration mode. Here we are in global configuration mode. First I'm giving user name space R2. This R2 is a remote. See, from this R1, R2 is a remote router. So that remote router's host name is R2. That I am giving here space password of this router. Password of this router I am giving here. So password space Cisco's 123. This is case sensitive. Remember, this is case sensitive. All should be smaller, and numerical value you can give. And this is case sensitive. Remember that, right? Now I am going to the particular interface. In that interface, I am going to configure PAP authentication. Okay, so interface in this router, what is the interface I am using here? Yes, 0/1/0. So that interface value I have given here, yes, 0/1/0. Then encapsulation PPP. See, this is what the command actually used to change PAP from HDLC. By default, HDLC will be there. Already I told you. So now by using this, we are changing the HDLC into PPP. Okay. So till here, if you stop the command, then this router is enabled with PPP, not with PAP authentication. Okay. Remember that. Next one, in PPP, I am going to use PAP authentication. That's why I am using this command. Command is PPP space authentication space PAP. Next, I have to give manually. See, previously I have given the router name, host name and password, right? This host name and password is remote router's information I have given here. Now the local router's name and password also manually I have to give. This is the main difference between PAP and CHAP. In CHAP, no need to give manually like this. Whereas in PAP, you need to give this local device. This is a local router, right? This router only we are configuring on this router only, right? So in this router information, you have to give manually. In this router, you have to give the local router information, that is username and password. Okay. So for that, command is PPP space PAP space send username space R1. This R1 is a local device. Space password space Cisco 123. This password is case sensitive. Already I told you. This password is for R2 and this password is for R1. Remember. That's all. End. Okay. Similarly, I am going to do the same thing on R2 also. Username here instead of R2. See, previously R2 I have given because from R1, R2 is a remote router. Now from R2, R1 is a remote router. So that I have to give R1 here. Password is same, and interface, this interface you have to give this number. Here also I have taken yes 0/1/0, so that I have given yes 0/1/0. And encapsulation space PPP. Next PPP space authentication PAP and PPP space PAP space send hyphen username hyphen R2. This R2 is the local router, this router. So this router information you have to give manually if it is PAP authentication. CHAP means no need to give. Okay, R2 space password space Cisco 123 end. So this is the command to configure PAP on the routers. I hope you understand. How to verify this we'll see in the next page. Okay, before that we'll finish CHAP also. Same commands, same purpose, everything is same, but main difference is already I told you. Here passwords will go in encrypted form, whereas in PAP passwords will be transmitted in the clear text over the serial links. Okay, so same scenario, two routers I have taken and two routers are connected through the serial links. So same commands, username space R1, sorry, here I made a mistake. This should be R2. I made a mistake. This should be R2. R2 space password space CCNA123 and interface space S0/1/0. Wait, I will write here only. This is not R1, this is actually R2. Okay, and this is not R2, this is actually R1. Okay, right? So don't do mistake. So remember that this is R2 and this is R1. And same command here also I used, but only thing is sender that local device password name no need to give here. It will take automatically. In CHAP it will take automatically. It will take automatically. So no need to give. Okay. So same command, I hope you understand how to configure CHAP. Same commands. Only thing is that one line command we removed here. That's it. Remaining all are same, right? Right. So we'll move on to the next. How to verify the output, I'll tell you. How to verify the output. We'll see how to verify the output. See here. To verify PPP encapsulation, show interface, same command. Previously also we used this command. We know about this command, and this command also we know already. Show IP interface brief. If you give this, then you can see interface wise status of the interface and protocol is enabled or not. Which means you can see the up down status. If it is up, then it is enabled. If it is down, then it is disabled. Okay. Then to remove the PAP and CHAP, you have to use this command. First you have to go to that particular interface, then you need to give no space PPP space authentication space PAP. Then this PAP will be removed. Okay. Similarly for CHAP also you can use this same command. So we'll see this activity in packet tracer. How we are going to implement, we'll see. So good morning one and all. So we'll see PAP and CHAP configuration in packet tracer. So for that I am taking a router 1941 router. So two routers I am going to take, and serial port drag and drop and turn on this. Similarly here also drag and drop, then turn on this. Now routers are enabled with serial ports. Now I am going to make a connection between these two routers. Okay, so now serial connections done. So now I am going to give a IP address to these serial ports. So I don't have a time, that's the reason why I am doing in GUI. Don't do in GUI, you have to do in CLI. Okay, we know the command how to give the IP address to this serial ports. right? So let me give 1 second. So let me give the serial port. Here serial port is S0/0/0. Here I am going to give 1.0.0.1 and turn on this. So this side is over, and this side similarly we are going to do in another router also. That is also S0/0/0. Here I am going to give 0.0 1.0.0.2. Okay, turn on this. So now it become green. Now go to this. Already I told you now I have not configured PPP, but by default HDLC will be there. That I told you. So I'll show you how to check HDLC in this router. Use this command, show interface S0/0/0. See in this clearly it is mentioned like encapsulation HDLC. So I use this command now. See this command to verify. By default it is HDLC encapsulation, right? So like this you can verify by default how HDLC. These routers are actually Cisco proprietary devices, so that by default HDLC will be there, right? Now I am going to configure PAP. So how we are going to change this encapsulation to PAP? So we'll see that. Okay. So it's a simple one, simple activity. So we'll see. So configuration terminal, and what I have to give, interface. Before that I have to change the host name of the router. Already I told you host name you have to change. So for that you have to give host name space R1. So now I changed the router name. Now you can give the command, whatever the commands I have given already. So I'll show that commands if you want. See this one. This is what the commands I have given already. We discussed already. These commands I am going to type now. I am going to type these commands. So username space remote router you have to give. So before that I have to change this router name also. So let me finish that also. Host name I have to change. My exactly whatever the name of the router is there here, that name you have to give. But by default router only will be there in all the routers. That's the reason why I told you to change the host name of the router before going to configure PAP or CHAP. Okay. No. Here I can change the host name of the router. Host name has R2. Now I change it to R2. This router is now R2. And in this router now I can give remote router's username is R2. Host name now only I change it now. So it is R2 space password. Whatever password you can give any password, no problem. I am giving Cisco 123 and this is case sensitive, remember. So password is given. Next you need to go to that interface. See this command interface. Now I am going to second line. See the second line command. Now I have to give interface space s0/ which I have given here. See this 0/0/0 I have given here. So give the same thing here also 0/0/0, enter. Then you have to give encapsulation PPP. See this command already given. No, third line is encapsulation PPP, right? So encapsulation PPP. So now PPP protocol is state is changed to up. Sorry. Now it is now protocol is down, but interface is up. Protocol when it will become means once you given this this one PPP authentication PAP, then it will become. So PPP authentication next line command is this one. See here PPP authentication PAP, authentication PAP, right? Next is PPP space PAP space sent hyphen you. This is a local router's information. This router, this is R1 router. No, this router's name and password I'm going to give. I have to give this router's name and password. So sent username space R1 space password. You can give any password, but I am giving Cisco 123 password. Okay, password Cisco 123. Manually we have to give for PAP authentication. In case of CHAP authentication, automatically it will take. This is done. Now I have configured PAP on router 1, right? So now the same thing I am going to do in router 2. Similarly I have to do in router 2. So same commands. What is the command? First you need to give the remote routers information. So username space R2 space password, that is the same password whichever, Cisco 123. Next we have to go to that particular interface. See this interface here also I have taken S0/0/0. So give the same thing S0/0/0, enter. Then you have to give encapsulation PPP, encapsulation PPP. Encapsulation nothing but wrapping, means that you covered with this with the actual raw data. So encapsulation PPP. Next one is PPP authentication so PPP authentication PAP. No, I made a mistake, I think. So now I changed this one. So username space remote router, that is R1 I have to give, not R2. R1 I have to give. Okay. So from the beginning I am doing again. So username space only in R2. R1 there is no issue. Only in R2 from the beginning I am doing now. That four line command now I changed it. So previously I have given R2 here. It's not R2. You have to give R1. That is a remote router. From R2, R1 is a remote router. So username space R1 space password is Cisco is no space, no, 1 2 3, Cisco 1 2 3, right? Next, now we are going to the particular interface. That interface is 0/0/0. Next, you have to give the encapsulation PPP. Next, PPP authentication PAP. Right? Next is PPP space PAP space sent hyphen. Now I am giving local router username and password. So local router is R2 router. So name of the router is R2 and password is Cisco 123. Same password. Right? That's all. So in both the routers I finished. Now let me check the same command I am going to use here. Show. Same command I am going to use. Show interface yes 0/0/0. See in this, now you can see the difference. Encapsulation PPP. Now we verified PPP is configured in this router. Okay, right? And similarly in this router also we'll check whether PPP is enabled or not. For that, command is show interface yes 0/0/0. So see in this my encapsulation PPP, right? Encapsulation PPP. So this is one way we can verify, and so for verification only I have given few commands. You can check with this. See IP space interface brief. This also we can check. So go to this. Show IP space interface space brief. So about interface we will get. See this one. In this we can see the what is this command? Wait. Show IP interface space interface brief. Yes. So in this, see here, this one clearly given. In this particular serial port, that particular interface status also up and protocol also up. See here, protocol is also up. This protocol is PPP protocol. Okay. So like that you can verify, and you can do the default route or OSPF you can configure, and under this you can connect some network. Under this also you can connect some network so that the PCs can do pinging. But this is actually enough for enough to understand about PPP configuration. Okay. So under this, if suppose I asked you to connect a network under this router means you need to do. Okay. So now I explained about PPP-PAP authentication configuration. Now how can I remove that? How can I remove? Already commands we have given to remove. No PPP authentication PAP. Okay. CHAP also I hope you can try on your own, because it is easy compared to PAP. Compared to PAP, CHAP is very easy. Only one line you have to remove, right? You try it on your own. Okay, I hope you can do. If you have any doubt, you can post your doubts in WhatsApp.